Hey there, I'm Jer, and welcome back to my Dirty Gurdy Restoration Diary series, where you get to watch me turn this beat-up old 56 Chevy into a true year-round daily driver, and all with old-school manual parts. In the last episode, we pulled the motor out of Dirty Gurdy, and today we are going to find out what motor is in it and what is wrong with it. Okay, so got the 4 bolts off of my transmission. This little baby guy should just pop right off. Well, there it goes. Oh, clutch fork. It should stay in the case, right? Yeah. There we go. Aha. All right. That's off. The throwout bearing. Two messy bolts. I do that. That one's on. That's right. That is not coming off. Oh, what? Just fine. That was easy. Why the heck was that not coming out? That was weird. Okay, that's a starter bolt. Okay, oh shoot, come on. And get the wrench off. There it goes. Okay. It's free. What's with all that water? Okay. Where's that all coming from? No! Now, is this bell housing going to come off now? Guessing I can just whack it and it'll come off. Yeah, there it goes. Cool. Okay, I guess that's off. It's probably just on a couple dowels. And that will come off. How heavy is this going to be? Oh, jeez. There we go. There we go. Now it's off the dowel. Okay. There we go. Aha! That's not too heavy. Okay. All right. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's comical. It's still leaking. Holy cow. Holy cow. It's just never going to end. Okay, so I got the clutch off, the pressure plate. Pressure plate is off. Now I'm just getting down to the motor. I think I still have to take the flywheel off to get this thing mounted to that, right? I think so. I don't know. Probably should get that bad boy off. pretty close to where I think it is top dead center, and that's pointing at spark plug number 1, so it's set up the normal small block Chevy way. So I'm going to put the cap back on and got all the spark plug wires marked, and I'm going to pull off the distributor. Whammo! Cool. I bet this thing is new. It looks brand new. I bet someone replaced this trying to fix the original problem with the car. All because of a resistor. Alright, so the intake is loose. I just pried it from the back with the screwdriver and it just came right off. There it goes. Alright. Cool. Got it off. Well, you can see stuff like this. How those ports are much smaller than the square holes. Because these are junk heads. These heads are just, these are terrible heads. It's amazing the car ran as well as it did, honestly. So, whatever. Alright, well, let's, I don't know. I guess figure out, I guess we should get the heads off next, I guess. Alright, push rods are labeled. I don't think I need to label them, but I did anyways. Same thing with the lifters. I don't know if I need to label those, but I don't know. I probably will keep those separated. I really don't know. And then I'm going to loosen all these nuts and then turn these all sideways. Don't take them off. Then pull all the push rods out. all that off. All right. Hey, like no coolant came out. So much coolant in there. Someone said to knock out the freeze plugs and that would drain it. Might be easier to do it that way. But we're getting there. As soon as I flip this thing around, all that coolant will be finally out. And the engine's a lot easier to spin now. It doesn't have all that weight on the head, or the head's on it. Okay, so now she's a short block. Flip her over and then start looking at stuff. Well, I just got terrible news today. So I was doing a little bit of research on my motor over here because I got it pretty much disassembled now into the long block form. No, short block. It's a short block because it's missing the heads. So it's a short block, small block. So anyways, doing a little bit of research on it today, especially after I got the numbers in the back. I did all the ID numbers on the transmission of the car, and I just assumed that the transmission and the motor were going to match, especially when I was told that the motor was a 327. So in 63, the biggest motor they made was a 327, so I assumed that the gearbox and the motor were both a 63. Oh, well, unfortunately, when I came over here and looked at the back of the motor, you probably can't see this very well at all, but I'll, I guess, superimpose a picture into that. But when you look up the number and the date code, because when I first saw that date code, I'm like, oh no, does that say 78? Because I was also wondering why I had no provision back here for a draft tube. There's no draft tube hole. I'm like, what? There should be a draft tube in this thing, but there's not. So I assumed it was just covered by the intake. No draft tube provision at all. I'm like, okay, minor problem. I'll just fix that later. Anyways, go to look up the casting number. I looked up the casting number. I haven't looked at the stamp numbers yet because it doesn't matter. I punched it up. The thing's a 305. It's a 305. So now I'm kind of dead in the water on doing any changing of heads or anything to make this thing really perform better, because I know the heads on it are garbage. So I was going to change those heads at some point. Now I'm seriously debating if I should even bother with this block at this point, because it's a 305. And a 305 crank, even though it's the same dimension, same throw as a 350 crank, you just can't use the crank from a 305 and a 350 because the way it's balanced, and it's a lighter crank, so it's not going to work on 350 pistons. So the block is fine. I could get the block milled, bored out to 4 inches, and then put a different crank in it and different pistons in it and probably different rods in it. At that point, same thing, might as well just get a 350. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm completely dead in the water right now, not super happy about the state of things in Denmark. Well, I just found out everything I needed to know about the heads now as well, and why they're a different color, why they're blue, and the block is orange. So I'm like, that's weird. So, looking at the little date here, that is 76. And the block is made in, I think, 78. So that's why that block is orange. That's why these heads are blue. Comes off 2 different motors. These are 305 heads, so at least there's that. And I got the valve size and everything. It's like 1.5 and 1.7 something are the valve sizes. So shoot, I don't know the CC of the domes. I have no idea what that stuff is. Draining the last of the fluids out of her. So that's what I'm doing right now. I flipped the motor upside down trying to get the rest of the coolant out, and I forgot I didn't take the oil out and made a little mess. Of course. At least I was outside. All right, let's see if I can get this bad boy off. The glue. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. What the hell is making that? Oh my gosh! No way a bearing flew out. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, a bearing flew out. Oh. Well, I guess that's why I was making noise. Holy f***. Oh, man. How bad is this gonna be? Alright, well. Pretty sure that's not supposed to be that loose. Now, I don't know if that side clearance means the crank is shot or if that's a bearing thing. But the rest, oh no, this is all, oh, that's even worse. These are okay. No, they're all doing that. Yeah, I don't know how bad this is. In the next episode, gonna take a road trip and get a new, used small block Chevy for Dirty Gurdy. If you want to find out what I get for her, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the Dirty Gurdy Restoration Diary series. Have a fantastic day, and get out and drive those Tri-5s.